Hello, friends. Welcome to Take Two Tuesday. It is Tuesday. What are we at? August 6th, 2024. How is everyone today? Facebook's rolling. Let me find YouTube here and make sure everybody, I see some people checking in. So let me get this going here on my computer so I can see everybody as much as possible. I can't always follow along with all the chat, but I try. So let me find you guys here. Welcome, welcome. If you are new, my name is Ken. I'm here at the Stamps of Life in Orange County, California. And this is our weekly live stream here on Tuesdays called, kill that, Take Two Tuesday. And so I'm happy that you guys are here. I hope everybody is doing great. Fun day out here in Southern California. Everything is going good. We have a lot of excitement. So today, we'll try to get things rolling pretty quick. I have a, what do we have? We have a folded die set. We have been showing a lot of those. We'll figure out something different to do with that. A big die set, and then a combination of stamps and dies. So we have a little bit of variety of everything. So while everybody's checking in, I will get introduced here. And let's see, for this week, we have tonight a big release flash sale tonight. Tonight is the 6th, and technically tomorrow's the 7th, our release day, but the items come out early, or not early, but later this evening, maybe around 5 to 6 p.m. You'll find them on the website. Some brand new items that you might want to check out, and I've seen the card samples, and it looks like a lot of fun stuff. Let me check in over here at Facebook. Awesome. I don't see, is anybody there on Facebook? I hope if you're there on Facebook, let me know. I think it's working. I can see the stream here. Anybody home on Facebook? It's all quiet there so far. So if you're on Facebook, let me know you're there. Say hi. And I see YouTube is starting to fill up. If you're new, again, this is Take Two Tuesday. We look at some items from the past. Hi, Gail, over there on Facebook. Thank you. We take a look at some items from the past here at the Stamps of Life, and we have a range from a couple of years old to about 3 or 4 years old. So we have a little variety today. Some of you may have these items already. Great. If you do, this is a reminder for you to use them. And if you are brand new to the Stamps of Life, this is a little chance to take a look at something maybe you didn't know we had. So it kind of hits everybody. For the new people, a quick look at something that is brand new to them, and for our customers who have been with us, our friends that have been with us for quite some time, then again, you may have these, and just a good reminder. Sometimes we accumulate things and we just forget that we have them, right? Give me 1 second here. It is getting a little warm in here today, so I have a couple different fans on. I'm hoping you don't hear too much noise from them, but trying to keep things as cool as possible in here. We're finally getting a bit of summer here in Southern California, but it's good. It's about normal. It's just this little studio area does warm up. Okay, so I told you about the flash sale. You might want to think about joining the club. You know, our apron stamps and dies just came out. Let me see, I have some slides here to our awesome aprons came out, and they are on our website. If you're not familiar with the Stamps of Life website, whoops, off, let's see, how do I do that? I can do it. There we go. The awesome aprons, we mailed those out last Thursday, but if you want to get into our Die Hard Club, that's where you get the combination of the stamps and dies together. You can join on our website. Up at the top of the website, you just go to the, well, I can even show you. Let me find our website here. It's somewhere up here. The information for all of our clubs is on this page. I'll show you. I don't think I've ever done that with you guys. So here, I'm going to to make that just a little bit, that screen a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay, so if you are on our website, you would, I can turn that off now real quick. Let me see here. There I am. Okay, if you go on our website, you can see we have all these different clubs. The most recent club are these two. So up here at the top, you just click join the club. Then this page comes up. And we have the Fold-it Club, which was right here at the end of July and just starting in August. This is a new Fold-it Club. And then these ones just came out here. The Die Hard Club, where you get the combination of the stamps and dies together. And then the Stamp Club, where you get just the stamp set. The great thing is this month, all of these clubs, even our Card Kit Club, which comes out at the 15th, each one of the clubs will be getting a freebie, a gift from Stephanie. So that is something special for you, all of you club members. If you sign up for the club, if you join the Stamp Club or Die Hard Club, you get or the Card Kit Club, any of those, you're going to get a couple of free gifts, bonus gifts for joining. And then when you join the Fold-it Club, you get I think it's a die set that's valued at $26.99 as a free welcome gift. So you get some bonuses when you sign up. And I know these will ship out. They would ship out if you sign up today. They'll ship out today or tomorrow. So we're pretty fast about that stuff, okay? So those are clubs. Let's see what else. Thursday, we'll do the crafting corner. Make sure you check in with Stephanie on Thursday. That's at 5 p.m. Where am I here? 5 p.m. I think last week she didn't have any sneak peeks, but I think we will this week. So we'll be watching for that Thursday here on YouTube, Facebook, and that starts at 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. If you're on the East Coast. What else? I think that's about it. We're going to get rolling here. Let me find my little tag. Again, my name is Ken. I'm here at the Stamps of Life. A reminder, if you haven't heard, we do have, save the date is October 12th. That's a Saturday. In about 2 months, we'll be having a big special event here. We're going to be celebrating our anniversary, the Stamps of Life 15th year anniversary in business. That will be exciting. Stephanie will be here at the warehouse. We're going to have a lot of fun. I think tickets will go on sale. Tickets will go on sale for that pretty soon. We have to have tickets because we have to know how many people are going to show up. I think Stephanie wants to bring in some food, and we're going to have swag bags and a lot of fun stuff on sale. There'll be some brand new items. Hopefully we'll be live streaming that too. All right, so that is something to look forward to. All right, let's get going here. Let me see if I can move that over. Great. Okay, we are going to get started here. Our first item. Oh, at the end, we have our good news segment too. We are finishing up on the 10 Commandments. So we're in the last commandment. It talks about coveting. And we will have a little devotional. That'll be at the end. So if you have your Bible, a Bible app, you'll want to turn to Exodus chapter 20. And then to kind of combine what Jesus had to say about coveting, we'll look at Luke chapter 12. So Exodus 20, Luke 12, that'll get us all ready to go for that. All right, I hope you'll stick around for that. It's great, kind of speaks to our heart. If we're open, God's word will speak to us, and we can have our relationship grow a little bit deeper with the Lord. So that is real important. That will be at the end, okay? So let's have some fun. Our first set here is this collection called Hanging Out Dog. And you get this cute die set, and you can combine it with the stamps as well. These came out in, got to learn to use my left hand so I don't have to reach over here. I think I can do it. Everything's backwards. These came out in March of 2021, and I have some fun cards here to show you. Let's make sure I don't get those mixed up. And let's take a look at them on the website to see exactly what you get. You get the shadows, I know, with the dies and the main die. You could paper piece them if you want together. When I come out, they came out all solid. I'll show you what I did. And then the stamp set. Our stamps are made in the USA. And let's flip over to the website real quick. And I should have them here. And I have some interesting, we'll have some facts and fun today as we chat. Let's see, there's the hanging out dogs. Let's switch over to that. There you see them. Whoops, that is still not working. What am I doing wrong there? Let's see. Oh, I think I turned this switcher off. Give me 1 second, guys. No, that should be on there. There we go. That's it. Okay, so there we have our stamp set. Let's see, what do you get? You get, with the stamps, it is 9 stamps on a 4x6 sheet. That's 4x6 inches. The largest stamp is about 3 inches by 1 3/4. And then we have some good samples here. I think these samples that are on the website are different than the ones that I have. So we're going to get a little bit of variety, which is good. None of my cards here had the dog facing backwards, so that's a fun way where you can have them looking at each other. Especially it looks good if you have a little fence die like that. I know there are several excuse me, fences on the Stamps of Life website you might be interested in. Let's scroll through these. Actually, we'll enlarge this a little bit so we can see the pictures. And we have some great card samples. As always, our design team is really great. All right, let's scroll through these with the doghouse, holding a little miss you sign. Excuse me, you can have the front and back if you put him in the center of the card like that. That one's on a little string. There's that idea of peeking through the window and looking out at the front. So lots you can do with that. Oh, an upside down dog too. So he's hanging out there. There's a video that goes with it. And then we're back to the beginning. Let's see the dies. What do you get there? There's the dies. Oh, both of these items are on the retiring soon list. I think we still have quite a few in stock, but if it's something that you want to get, it will retire eventually. So there you see the dies. You get 8 dies in that set. Again, the shadow, the main piece, and there's a couple little paws and that kind of fun stuff. Okay. Then let's take a look at these samples I have. I have a few, and these are, again, different than the website ones, so it'll be fun to see something different. And I'm going to switch over to my next table here. Here we go. See if that will get into focus. Awesome. I'm going to scoot that back a little bit. He's a little bit taller. And that says Buds on there. And again, all these dogs, all these samples are facing forward, but friends are like stars. You can't always see them, but you know they are always there. That's a nice sentiment, right? And then this one, Hey Buddy. Nice, that's using an A2 card base for the base of the card and with the rounded corners. Most of these are A2 cards here. I think that first one we saw might have been like a mini slim line. Hey Buddy. Got a couple of our little dogs on there. And we got that guy there. Friends are like stars. We said that one before, right? You know, I'm looking at these samples and I think I might be showing you guys Little Peeps samples. But anyhow, what we looked at was correct. But if you want to see these ones, it looks like the same guy. No, these might be Little Peeps, so I'm not positive on this. Let me see what it says on it. Yeah, this does say Little Peeps, so I messed up my samples, so I apologize. But it's going to be the same general idea. That's why we didn't get any facing back. These were the Little Peeps stamps and dies, all right? I'm not sure which one, but I messed up on that. Whoop, sorry. I had it on the wrong camera. Sorry about that, everyone. Here we go. Let me run through these. These are not what we're looking at today. I goofed this up. The hanging out dogs, they look so close. The hanging out dog is different, but this is a Little Peep dog, okay? Just so you know. So that's why the samples we saw on the website were a lot different. But the dies and stamps that I'll be working with, they are from the website. So I will show you those here in just a second. I apologize, but it's fun. Anyway, we get to see some different samples. So if you have the little pudgies, the little pudgy dog, those were some ideas for you. Okay, let's get going. I've goofed up twice so far. I've shown you some wrong samples. Boo. Let's see what else. I have blacked myself out a couple times, and then I didn't have it on the right camera. Let's do like a redo and get started again, get things going off to a better start here. So here's some fun part, okay? What do you guys have a favorite breed of dogs that you like? What is your favorite type of dog? If you were thinking of a breed of dogs, do you have a favorite? And let us know in the chat, or if you're watching this at a later time, what is your favorite breed of dogs? And I have, this is kind of like fun facts, some information about dogs. I think I do. Where is that? There we go. Top 10 breeds of dogs. I have that, and it has some pictures too, so this will be fun. So in the chat, if you're chatting with us, post your favorite kind of dog, a dog that pops in your mind if you have this dog, or if it's a kind of dog you would like. And I'm going to give you a list. We'll go from number 10 up to number 1. All right, and I'll switch over because there's some good pictures here too. Let's do that. All right, here we go. Number 10, Dachshund. Anybody like that one? Let me see if anybody was posting. Great. Oh, we got Huskies. I had a Husky when I was a kid, 2 Huskies. They were nice dogs. I enjoyed them. Sorry, Nancy, I see your note now. Switch camera. Yeah. All right. I apologize, everyone, again about I should be watching the chat, and sometimes I look at the wrong camera. Let's see. Okay, back to those. German short-haired pointer. I don't know if I've ever seen that one. And then we have a Rottweiler. Definitely have seen that one. I always figure those are kind of rough and tough dogs, but that one certainly looks cute, right? And I'm heating up here in the studio, so bear with me. Okay, and let's see. We've got a Beagle at number 7. Number 6 is a Poodle. I've seen lots of Poodles, especially when they mix them with other dogs. That's real popular to do. So lots of Poodles. A Bulldog. A long time ago I wanted to have a Bulldog, but I'm kind of over it now, but I still think they're fun looking. Golden Retriever. Those are nice dogs. That's number 4. A German Shepherd at number 3. Yeah, those are popular. And we're at number 2 for a French Bulldog. I've seen a lot of those lately. And number 1 is the Labrador Retriever. And you know what? I think most Labs are pretty sweet and nice. So I think that's a good kind of dog to have around with kids, right? So I hope you guys had a favorite dog. I kind of might lean towards Labs. I kind of like Labs. There's some variety here that I probably don't know their names, but when I think of ones that I know their names, I do like Labs. Most of the Labs I've seen. And they come in all kinds of different colors. They're like chocolate, black, white, cream, so good variety there. Okay, let's move over to the table. I'm going to switch up all this stuff and make sure I'm on the right camera, and I'll meet you over there. Okay, let's head over. All right, I think my sound is working. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit, and I've got my table. I'm on the right camera. Awesome. And you joined us last week. You saw that I had rearranged my work area here. And so I have this nice table over here, which is great. I have a little more space. Before, everything was crammed over there with the computer, and it just wasn't quite enough to work with. So I was able to adjust that. And yeah, it's nice to have a real work table. Now, I left my stamps and dies over there, so let me go grab those real quick. And looks like everything's going good there. Great. So we had our stamps and dies. I won't stamp today. Last week I did do some stamping. So what we are going to do is we're going to take these little guys out of here. And this is the hanging out dog. We looked at it on the website, and then unfortunately I showed you some samples that were for the Pudgy. They look so close to me. I was surprised I didn't catch that. But that's why I knew when I was looking at the samples, I'm all, how come there's none facing backwards? Well, on the Pudgy, there is no backward facing. There is no backward facing dog. So that's why. That was quite a surprise. All right. I usually take the time to check the back of the cards, you know, here and there to make sure that when I bring in the items I need for this video, that I have the right one. So I'm surprised I didn't catch that. We're going to go ahead and line those guys up on there. I had done this one time earlier before just to see how it worked out, but I want to show you. And we'll run that through there. That should go through nice and easy. That's great. And you have a few different options how you can use this. I ran it through just to show you that there is a shadow. That would fill all in if we didn't line it up like this. So you're going to get a shadow for it, and you're going to get the regular little guy there. This is him facing backwards. And then you get the frontwards one, and I think I've got to, he's really stuck in there pretty good. So you get, that happens, we'll have these little holes here, and you just kind of get your paper piercer and just kind of pop through there, and they should come out. Yep, that'll push him out of there. And so there we have our front facing guy. And what I did just for fun, I grabbed this, and I already ran this die through. This is the Picket Fence Slimline Fold-it die set. Now, again, we have several fences on our website. And this one's nice. It makes a fold-it card, and it's a slimline. So what I did is I went ahead and ran it through the machine earlier today. And I see if I can get this all set up on here so you can see. We have our little guys there. And we'll put this on, let's see. Let me get a good background color so you can really see what's happening here. We'll go ahead and add this here. Again, I had ran this through the machine. This makes a slimline size card. So if you're not familiar with slimlines, they fit in like a business size envelope. But rather than making a slimline, I just wanted the fence, so I did just the fence part. I would double it up, and I'll show you how to do a fold-it a little bit later with another card set. So we get this from the slimline picket fence. That will create that. And then I have my little guys. He can be standing in front of the fence. Of course, you could get different colors, and you can piece them together and decorate him, and so he's not all one color, or you can do some inking on him. You could stamp him with the stamps that coordinate. Then I have this guy who is facing the back. And let's just pretend he's kind of peeking over the fence, but we've got a problem. He's not quite tall enough. So just for fun, I made like a little, he's standing on a little box. And so you could have him peeking over the fence if you like. Should fit on there. Whoops. Come on, little guy. And so that just shows you a couple things you could do. This little guy's peeking over, and then our other friend is looking towards the front. You could have one on each side of the fence. Just a lot you could do with that. You saw the samples on the website, the correct ones. They can kind of be looking at each other over a fence. You could put one on the inside of the, or like I even thought of it like if you put a guy on the back of the card, that would be kind of fun. So this could be the back, and this could be your front. And so, yeah, just some ideas that you can do with the fence and the little guys, the hanging out dog stamps and dies. All right, so that was easy. Cutting out the fence was super easy. I ran that through one time, and it came out perfect. That'll give you some ideas to do with that one. All right. Okay, let's see what's up next. I'll jump back over here. All right, I'm back, and we are moving on. Our next is it's called a big word die set, and this is the Hello Big Word, and these are really nice. They really stand out and give you some really fun way to send out a greeting that really can stand out. So I have a few samples to share with you. This is the big word Hello die set. Let me grab it here on the website. And I'll have a question for you about this one as well. We'll keep on going with our chat and kind of trying to have some fun. Let's see. That's got to get switched over. And there we go. Come on. All right. This is the Hello Big Word. And I think there are some other versions besides the hello, I think this is not showing any of the samples, but I think we have some other big words like this, but this hello one's great. We've got this, there's the dies. It's kind of have a stitched look to them, which is really nice. And let's go ahead and enlarge this so we can see. And again, I think these samples are different than what I have, but I know this is the card base I have. The words I have here are, they definitely say hello. See that? So I know I have the right ones this time. All right, let's scroll through those. And card fronts, this would be great like on a scrapbook page. And I thought of like a little creative way to use these. So I'm going to show you what I did with my hello sample. But these are all really nice, simple, right to the point. Here's just using a solid with a pattern paper on top. And there's the inside, I think, of a card saying hello, my friend, decorated real nice. And there's the dies. You get just 2 dies in this set. And I was looking at, I was trying to think, what is your favorite way that you like to greet people? I usually say hi. I think that's my favorite go-to. And I was looking for some other ways to greet people. We don't want to like be the same all the time, right? So I found this list of 20, it says 20 greetings in English. And I think some of them are kind of formal and some of them are kind of funny. So we have a little bit of variety here. So let's, I didn't change my little corner there. Let me switch that over so we know what we're looking at. Again, we're looking at the hello big word die set, and that is from August of 2022. So not that old. You might even have this one out right in front of you and it's there to be used. So we are looking at our ways to say, here's our informal greetings, and we might get a few laughs out of these. Let's check these out. And I think some of these are international because a couple of them I wouldn't say for sure, but let's go through them. All right, of course, there's the hi. And then we have, from our die set, we have hello, right? So we're good with those. Hello, right, or hi. What is your favorite way to greet people when you meet somebody? Here's some of our options. Maybe one of these is what you choose. Hey, or hey there. Morning. Morning, I guess you would only say that in the morning, right? I think most people say, hey, good morning. How are things? What's new? It's good to see you. Good day. That's definitely got to be Australian, right? That's not in the United States. Howdy. So now we're getting kind of Western there. Maybe some people use howdy. What's up? I know that's a popular one if younger. How's it going? What's happening? What's the story? And yo. So they're kind of getting funnier there as we go, right? So we went from hi to yo. Keep it very simple, right? Kind of like slang, just fun. I mean, but these are normal, right? These are the way we talk. Do any of you like any of those options? I like to say what's happening or what's new. I say that one a lot. And then here are the more formal ones. Hello, that is on our card. Hi there. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. It's nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. So there are a variety of ways that we can greet people, greet each other. I guess one of the main things when we do that, is just that we are going to acknowledge people. And that's one thing that's kind of weird with some of the kids I work with at the youth group at church. Some of them, it's not their fault. They're learning, their kids, but they kind of lack in some social skills as far as, being able to greet people and acknowledge other people. And so that's something they still got to learn. And I think it's important for us as adults that we want to be certain to do that. It's really important that we acknowledge people. It just shows that we care, that we're interested in them, and that's how we kind of establish relationships. It's always awkward when there's somebody around and we don't talk to them, right? So maybe one of these will be a way to break the ice with somebody new that's around you. Maybe it'll start a friendship if you're the one that's willing to step out there and greet somebody and say hello, or use one of these other options here. Okay, let's check out our samples, and this time I will get the correct camera. My little table's a little bit off there. I can fix that. Woo. All right, there we go. All right, here's the, I think the ones on the website were even nicer, but these are good. And just your basic, they're going to use the background. This has a background die and the main die that will cut out the hello for us. I'll show you, I thought of a different idea, a different way to use these. And it will be different than these samples that we're looking at. These are all on rounded A2 corner die sets. That's a pretty combination. And I have one more. This is like on a scallop card base. This must be maybe an A2 scallop card die set, I think. Let me see if it says on the back. No, it doesn't say. So there's a few ideas for you. And we will move over. I'll bring this. This is the die set. It has that fun stitching look on it. And again, just 2 dies. So let's see if we can come up with a different idea, something different using these. Basically, the options here are as a shadow, with a shadow, without. But let's see if we can't figure out a way to make something a little bit different out of this. So I'm going to give it a shot. Let's go over to our table here, our workstation. Okay, I've got that ready to go, and I'm going to switch mics. Okay, I think you can hear me. All right, good. We're going here. Make sure my chats are going okay. Let's see, what else? Are we still here on Facebook, I think? Yep, okay, good. All right, let's head over there and check out what we can do with this one. Great. Okay, we have our 2 dies, and of course you could just run it through the normal way, and I did that already to save ourselves a bit of time. I ran it through. This die, the stitched die, will create this kind of script, handwritten look here. You can see how that just fits over there. And then if you want the shadow that goes with it, you will just run that through there. Great. Awesome, right? And I added, let's see, what did I use? Where are those? I have these adhesive sheets. I put an adhesive sheet on the back of this before I ran it through, so it should be nice and sticky. We'll be able to add this right on here. So these are my little extra pieces. I'm going to pop those out. And these pop out real easy. And if I can peel this, this should work out really nice. So you can see it has the adhesive on there. And the adhesive sheet makes this die cut sticky already. So now, what's great about this is we do not have to go back and try to roll adhesive onto it. Of course, you could do it, but it would be a little more challenging and a little messier. So these adhesive sheets are really awesome. So you see how it just peels off, right? We're just going to pull that completely off. And there we have our hello word, and it has already adhesive on it. So we can just add it to this shadow. And we will line that up real good, and we'll just kind of press down. I think Stephanie would say we should burnish it to make sure it's really on there, but we're not in a situation where we have to worry about it falling apart. It should all hold together for what we're doing right here. So that looks really nice, right? You can lay that onto the front of a card, on a scrapbook page. But my idea was, I wanted to see if I couldn't turn this into a little fold-it card. So what you do, you have the 2 dies, and you're going to take the outside shadow die, right? And we're going to take this, and we are going to run this through the machine one more time. Let's see what we can do. I have some cardstock here. I'm going to take this sheet, and I don't need that much of it, so I'm going to trim it down a little bit. Now this is where Stephanie would normally just, you know, how she tears it and all that fun stuff, but I like to use scissors. So we're going to cut that This sheet we can use later for some scraps or maybe some smaller die cuts. We can keep that. We're going to take this and fold it in half, just like that, right? And here we want to make sure this is a good score line. So we're going to really kind of bring that down, get that extra die out of the way. Then we're going to take this card base, and to create a fold-it, you just have to run this shadow over this cardstock. But you remember, when you have when you're trying to make a fold-it, your die has to come a little bit over the edge right here, right? So it's got to hang off a little bit in order to make the card base. I think we can get away with about right there. So we're going to run that through and see what we can create here. Get that lined up, and we've got our two cutting pads, the cardstock in the middle there with the die facing down on top. And let's run that through the machine. And this would be, I didn't measure it, but if it all works out, it'll be a little bit smaller than a regular size A2 card. But I thought it was fun just to show you how to do something a little bit different than what we expected to do with this die set. So here we go. We've got this. Doesn't look like much, right? We can't really do anything with this, but it did. We'll double check to make sure that worked out right. It did create our fold-it option. That's what we're trying to do. So we have our fold-it card now. Great. Now we're just going to take this and we're just going to lay it over the top, right? So we need a little adhesive on the back here. I will run that on here. And we're going to add that to the front of that. And now we have made our big word hello die into a fold-it. See that? So that is something you can do with your larger words. There's enough space. And you could write a little greeting in there, or you could put a couple little cute stamps in there, a little flower or something special you want to say, a quick little note to somebody. And that would be a nice greeting. You've got the front and it opens up like that. And it looks pretty sharp, right? You could use all kinds of different color combinations. I saw like the black and the yellow together. That would look good. You could use some glitter paper. That would be fun, right? Like one of these colors, one of these types. Make it with glitter. That would look really sharp. And of course, we have foil papers, lots of different things you could do with that. So you have some different options. But here was just basically using it with like a strawberry. And maybe that's a ginger snap or vanilla type for the backing. But so easy to do. You can make it, as we said just before, a card front. You can layer this onto a scrapbook page. It can be on the inside of a card, or you can make it a card itself. So lots of different options there, right? Great. All right, we're going to head back over here. So I hope you like that idea. Just something different I thought up this morning. It's not like I'm some super brilliant, talented card maker, but I was just trying to think of some different ways that we could use that die, and I thought it came out pretty good. I was happy with that. And I'd just like to show that there's a variety of different ways that we can use the Stamps of Life dies and stamps different ways than you always think, right? I know some of them can be used for banners. This would be a little bit smaller, and hello on a banner wouldn't, well, I guess if you did hello and you had a bunch of triangle banners or pennants or something like that, that might work out. But the hello just by itself probably would not work out. All right, we are moving on to our third item, our third option today. This is called the, let me switch over here. I've got to force my left hand to participate here. Birdcage Fold-it die set. This is from August of 2020, so we are just about 4 years old on this one. Now, it comes with these dies here, probably 4 of them. Let's see what we have on the website, the actual count. Yes, it includes 4 dies from August 2020. It's going to create an A2 size card. And we do have there are some good samples that I have in person here and then also on the website. This kind of works with these stamps and dies down here. These were club sets from August of 2020 as well. Birds to Stamp and the More Birds collection. And I know these were super popular. Then there's the Birdhouse Fold-it. That's a great one. I think I might have shown you that earlier in the year. At least one sample. And let's see what we have here. You can see these nice samples that have been created, thinking of you. And I'm going to show you, again, we're going to come up with a different way to use this. And this one is not my idea. I just saw that it was done here for us. So we'll see how we can do it. So definitely you have the Birdcage options, pretty one for a happy anniversary. I think I have that sample. And there's our basic sample, the dies that you get. 4 dies, okay? And I have these samples to share with you, so we're going to do that right now. And then I was thinking, wouldn't it be awesome if we could fly? For some reason, well, I think we would probably get into a lot of trouble if we could fly, right? Whoops. We'd probably get in a lot of trouble if we could fly. So God has not given us the ability to fly. But if you could be any kind of bird and you could fly, what kind of bird is it that you would want to be? That is our question for this section. If you could be a bird, any kind of bird, what kind of bird would you want to be? There's a lot of birds out there, and I bet there'd be a good variety of answers. I think I would like to be like maybe an eagle or a hawk or something like that. But hummingbirds are pretty cool too. So what kind of bird would you like to be? If you could fly and you could choose to be any kind of bird you wanted to be, what would you choose? Maybe you'd want to be a parrot, like one of these little guys. You could talk. My aunt and uncle had talking parrots, so that was quite an experience. And not only did they talk, they would also do a lot of squawking. So we have some great ideas here from the design team. All of these are really beautiful. This makes a standard A2 size card. And here is a option as just a window card. It could be a shaker. If you wanted to add some little goodies in there, you can make it into a shaker card. And this is the basic one. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. Got it. From our website. So I want to show you just how easy it is. So you see all these samples, right? That have most of them have the Birdcage theme. We'll take that one out. Great. And that is primarily what this die set is designed for. But you can also take this and just give yourself a basic shape for a different type of A2 card. So let's see how we could do that, all right? So again, what kind of bird would you like to be? Let's see if we had any. Jamie says eagle, Diane says eagle, Sylvie says macaw, Shelby eagle, Gail says a hummingbird. Anybody else want to jump in there? Susan says bluebird. How about over on Facebook? Birds are pretty cool, right? Nobody's answering on Facebook. Come on, you guys. All right, let's go over to our table, and we're going to see what we can create with this die set. Okay, again, we have the Birdcage option, but what else could we do with it? All right, so that will be what we're going to check out. All right, we should be going. I see we've got some sound there, and we've got our die set machine. I'm going to clean up here real quick before we start. So this one I have not tested ahead of time, Philip. So this will be a surprise for me even, but it should work out, I believe. Okay. And we're just going to try to make a folded card, but rather than using the birdcage shape, we're just going to use the outline, and it can just give us a little bit different type of a card base, right? Let's try to do that. All right. And for this, we just need the outside piece. And you know I have a ton of that. Well, let's do something different. Let's use a different color today. I'm going to use this. I think this is our peacock color. And for a fold it, we've got to fold this in half. going to do that first. This is how we're going to make our base. Remember, just like we did with the hello, you got to fold it in half. We'll score this down a little bit just so we make sure our lines are nice and straight. And this will, these normally say, you can do your fold here on the top or on the side. You have the option. It could be a card where it folds open this way, or it can be one that folds from the top. So just for fun, I hadn't thought about this until now. Let's do it from the side and see how it turns out, okay? We've got that. And I'm thinking about this to make sure it's going to work out. I think we can do it. All right, let's run this through and see what happens. I haven't made a side fold-it before, so this will be a little bit different for me. I suspect it works just the same way as the top. We will find out, okay? All right, we're going to run this through. This is going to create the base for us, the base of the card, the base of the fold-it. Again, you could add the extra die if you want, and just like all the samples we saw there, it could be a bird cage, which again, that's what it's designed for. But maybe you just want to do a little bit something different with that. No, I did something wrong here because that did not cut through. So let's try it again. I did not have something lined up right, so let's give it another try. I thought I did. Let's try that again. This cardstock is a little bit thicker, so maybe that has to do with why that didn't cut through all the way. But let's try it a little bit different here. We're going to go at a slight angle. And again, I know this is not our standard size cardstock. Some of the time the cardstock company that we get, they send us some extra samples, and I'm using some of the different weighted cardstock that they sent me. It might be a little bit thicker actually, so we'll run it through one more time. If it doesn't work, whoops. If it doesn't work with this one, we'll try a different. Yeah, it's had the same result. So you can see it's not quite cutting through. It did the top part, but it is not cutting all the way through. And I think it's just because it's too thick. Let's try a thinner piece. Let's see what happens. Maybe this is user error, but I've never had this happen before, so let's try. I know some of my cutting pads are bowing here a little bit, but I don't think that should affect it. So let's try one more time. And I really think it's just because that cardstock weight must be so high. At least that's what I suspect. Let's run that through. Hopefully this will give us a good cut. Okay, here we go. So I had a little bit lighter weight on this one, and this time it did cut through easy. So there is our card base. Great. Problem, we have that big old line on the side. We can't have that, right? So we're going to have to take this, and one more time, we're going to get another piece of cardstock here. We'll get a somewhat similar color. I can't find exactly that same sheet, so this will be a tad bit darker. And this time we just need to run it through right there on the top. Now, this time we're going to cut out no folds. We just need to run this through. And this will fix that. You know how we saw that line, that straight line? We don't want that. We got to get rid of that straight line that's created when we did the fold. All right, so we've got this. Very good. There's our full size. We're going to just layer that over the top, and it's going to cover up that line. That, see, our straight edge is gone now. So let's put some adhesive on here. Where is my adhesive? It has escaped. What did I do with that adhesive? Let's see, I have an extra one over here. Got adhesive on there. Here is the base that we created there at the beginning, and then we're just going to add this to the top. Now, of course, it's best if you have the exact same colors so you don't see any shadow. It would kind of blend in together. And you can see just a tiny bit of line there, but anyhow, that looks great. So that's an option. You can have a different kind of an oval type shaped card. If you wanted to be the bird cage, of course, you can use this cage and you would just add that onto the top. It would line up right on top of there. But just a different option, give you a different looking card. I don't think it would work this way, right? No. But this way, definitely a different looking card base. And we saw the sample over there that one of the designers had made this into like a window. That was one option. And you could also, I imagine, make it into a shaker, right? So a bunch of different options there that you can do with this one. The standard size, the standard way as a bird cage, here just as a card base. You could decorate this, make it all kinds of fun looking, and just a different variety, different option that you could have with this one, okay? And this was, again, the fold it with the side being the fold. You also have the option of doing the fold on the top. All right. Well, great. That is it for our dies and our stamps that we're looking at today. So grateful that all of you guys have joined us today. Happy to have you here. All right, great. If you have a Bible with you or a Bible app, anything like that will work. I happen to have my Bible with me today, and I'm going to put these cards out of the way. We are looking at Exodus chapter 20. One thing I wanted to mention is last week when we had our little devotional, I forgot to mention, and I thought it was a real important part. When we read that story, last week it was talking about the ninth commandment, which was lying or bearing false witness. There was this couple that we read about in Acts, I think it was chapter 2, Ananias and Sapphira. They got in trouble and they ended up dying because they were not telling the truth. And it said in there, Peter said to them, I think it says, he said to them, you have not lied to man, but to God. And I thought that was real key. And I didn't really mention it last week, and I wanted to. But that is what's really important, that, we might be able to hide our sins or our lies. We might be able to hide those from people, right? But the thing is, we can't hide from God, right? God knows everything. And when we sin and that just means we miss God's ideal. Some of the time could be pretty bad things we do, and some of the time it's just things that maybe there was a better option and we chose not the best option. When we miss what God's ideal plan was for us, he is aware of it, and we need to take that as that's not a bad thing. God knows everything about us, right? And that can be both challenging because we tend to have some things maybe we want to hide a little bit, but we can be open with God. And so when we fail or we mess up, we can bring all those things to God. Of course, we can ask for forgiveness and we can ask him to give us the power to change. But it's real important to know that God knows everything about us and nothing is hidden from him. So we might disguise it from people. We might have secrets we keep. We might, have things we have done that we're not too proud of. And maybe people never figure those things out, or they never learn, and so we think that's hidden and secret, but God knows. And so we always want to come clean with God. And it's so great to know that he loves us that much that he will accept us, with our faults and all. So I just wanted you to know that the consequences for that couple were severe. It says they died. It doesn't mean they're not in heaven and that they weren't Christians, but at some time, for some reason at that time, God was doing a different work in the church, and I imagine it was to keep the church pure and clean. And so what happened to them was rather severe, right? Generally, when we mess up, and we don't just fall over dead, right? Like in that story. So thankfully for that, right? That'd be pretty crazy because I wouldn't be here right now. That's for sure, right? All right, Exodus 20. Let me grab that verse for us. And if you have, it is verse 17, I believe. Yes. You shall not covet your neighbor's house, and you shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his male servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor's. So when we start to think about that, and let me switch back over to me. I forgot to do this last week. That's why that doesn't work. Got it. Almost. Okay, so coveting, and it's a big problem here, I think, in the United States. Have you ever had that that feeling like when you see somebody else get blessed, like somebody else gets a new car maybe, or they get a new job or a new home, or they get blessed in some way, something good happens to them, they have a gift, and there's something that could be inside of us. I don't know, sometimes this happens to me, maybe it happens to you. You kind of start thinking, well, why didn't I get that? Or, oh, why didn't I get blessed that way? Or they don't deserve it. And so that's kind of a way of coveting, when we want something for ourselves and we kind of don't want the other person to have it either. Well, here, in this context, God was working it through the men and women of this time, the Israelites, that they were not to want anything that their neighbors had. They were to learn to be content in God. And that is a key part when we have coveting, and then on the opposite side is being content. We want to learn to be people who are content, right? And being content is being grateful for what God has blessed us with. I was looking up some numbers, and this is from 2019. Now, here in the United States, we are all very, very blessed, right? We have so much. And again, we might compare ourselves to our neighbors or somebody who's wealthier, and we might not think we have as much as other people do. But I was looking at the median income for people in the world. So half the people make more than this amount in the world, and half make this amount or less in the world. In 2019, the daily wage worldwide was $7.56. So half of the people in the world are living on less than $7.56 a day. And then how much do we have here in the United States, right? So it was really a reminder to me when I was looking up that stat, as wow, we really have a lot. And compared to the rest of the world, we are like super, super rich. If we have a car, a house, we have food in our cupboards, we're like among the richest, wealthiest people in the world. So when you start to think of it that way, we have a lot to be thankful for, right? And we should be very content people. But we know, to be honest with ourselves, we're not, right? And so we are not to covet. That is God's command. But I wanted to read what Jesus had to say about this. If you turn now to Luke chapter 12, so go into the New Testament way back there. If you were to hit John, the Gospel of John, you went a little too far. If you hit Revelation, you went way too far. But you just get out of the Old Testament and into the New Testament. You have Matthew, Mark, then Luke, and we want Luke 12, and then John would come after that. So these are the Gospels. These are the stories about Jesus while he was here on earth. And we are in chapter 12. And he spoke briefly about coveting, and he gave a warning, and he gave a story, what is called a parable. We'll read this one together. Let me get my glasses here. This is where I need some help. I actually bought this Bible about a year ago. I used to have one with, so let me show the print on this one. It seems pretty much, average, right? When I first got it about 2 years ago, I was able to read it pretty good. But as time went on, even this Bible is getting a little challenging for me to read. But the Bible that I had before, the print was way smaller than this. And I read it for a long, long time, and I used it for a long, long time, but I kept seeing I had to keep scooting back further and further and further to try to read. So I got this one. It started off good, and now I'm starting to have problems with this one. So it's kind of frustrating, but I guess our eyes don't last forever. I just have to be content with my vision right now, right? Okay, so Luke chapter 12, and we are at verse 15. It seemed like there were some people just prior to this who were arguing about an inheritance. And they came up to Jesus and they said, hey, can you settle this? But Jesus said to them, Verse 15, take heed and beware of covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of the things he possesses. And then he spoke a parable, to them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man yielded plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, since I have no rooms to store up my crops? So he said this, I will do this, I will pull down my barns and build greater barns, and there I will store all my crops and my goods. Whoops, my alarm's going off here. Come on. Now I have my glasses on, I can't see my alarm. All right, got it. And so he said, I'll build bigger barns, and I will say to my soul, soul, you have many goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat and drink and be merry. But God said to him, fool, this night your soul will be required of you. And then whose will those things be which you have provided, which you have kept for yourself? So is he who lays up treasures for himself and is not rich toward God. So here's this guy. He's blessed, right? He has a lot, just like us. We have a lot. This guy, he had a lot. And it sounds like he was going to gain even more. And he had barns, so he was super wealthy. You know, back then, if you had one barn or one storage area, that was like a big deal. Well, this guy has barns. He says, I'm going to tear them down. I'm going to build bigger barns to store up even more. And it was all about himself. And so his problem with coveting was keeping everything for himself. And it seems like a lack of willing to share because, you know, it says, Jesus said he's called a fool. And it seems like he was rich towards himself, but he wasn't rich towards the things that would matter in God's eyes. So that is a warning for ourselves. We don't want to be fools, right? So think of all that God has given to us, how blessed we are. We want to find contentment in that. And we don't always want to be like this guy in this story where we're desiring always more and more and more. Where, I don't know, you have that feeling where a bigger car is going to satisfy, a nicer car is going to satisfy me, a bigger house. If I could get a bigger paycheck or a better job, this is going to make my life complete. Or maybe it's, I got to have that new die set and then I'll be satisfied. All of these things are fine, right? They're all good. But it's when we think we're going to find our contentment in that, we're always going to end up being a little bit empty. When we're desiring, we're always going to want just a little bit more. That will make me satisfied. That will make me happy. But we find we never get to that point. And here was this guy. He thought he was going to get to that point. And I think this happens sometimes to some people. They keep gathering and getting and storing up for themselves. And then their life could, like in this story, suddenly come to an end. It says his soul was required of him. His time was up. He never got to the point where he got to actually enjoy those things. And I think even a better way, rather than keeping everything for himself, would have been to share it with others, right? So maybe we have a lot of blessings. God has given us a lot of good things. Let's look and see how we can't do some good things with what God has given to us. I think that would go a long, long way in our walk with Jesus. That's kind of like a way that we can love our neighbors as ourselves, right? We have a lot. What good can we do with it? Rather than just keeping it all for ourselves, always wanting to try to get more, finding that place of contentment and that willingness to share what we have and bless others. I know that the Bible says, based on the things we do here on earth, there's going to be rewards for us in heaven. So you might go out and do something good with what you have today, and when you're with Jesus in heaven, he's going to reward you for that. All right, so that is a good thing to know. So that's going to wrap up our 10 commandments. How many of the commandments can you remember? You don't have to answer right now, but if you were to go and write them down on paper, we've gone through all 10. And yesterday I did it, and I had 9 out of 10. I forgot one, and then I kept thinking about things, and I finally got it. So I do have all 10 down. A couple months ago, I probably could have got about 70 or 80% of them. So challenge yourself. See if you can't write down. You don't have to write them down word for word, but just to give a brief idea, if you have all 10 commands, write down number 1, what you think it was. They don't have to be in order, but see if you can get all 10 of them. And so that'll be a bit of a challenge as we end up our show today. I want to thank you again for joining me. I hope you'll take that challenge. It's good to keep writing out God's word, reading it, thinking about it. We don't want to just leave it here, but how can we go out and apply it to our lives, right? Okay, I want you to have a great rest of the day. We are going to see you Thursday night for Stephanie's Crafting Corner. Remember, we'll have some, I'll remind Stephanie to have a sneak peek this time, so look forward to that. I'll be back next Tuesday. Well, you'll hear me anyway on Stephanie's show. Usually I'm there with some voice. As long as all the electronics are going good, I should be there. And then what else? Stephanie, next Monday, we'll have another No Makeup Monday. Tonight we have our release, some flash sale items coming soon that you will want to check out. And then what else? I haven't decided what we'll start on next week yet for our good news segment, but we'll come up with something. Maybe we'll just look at a verse here or there, or maybe we'll go through a whole Bible book. I don't know. We'll figure out something to do. So look forward to that next week. But in the meantime, have a wonderful day. Stay cool out there. Realize how blessed you are. Enjoy the things that you have. And see how you can do some good things with those things. That's what I want to do too. I want to be reminded of that. All that God's blessed me with, how can I use it for good? And how can I use it to show love to other people and show them God's love? That's why we're still here. If we're following God and He's left us here on earth, it's not just to go about doing our own thing, but it's to expand the kingdom of God and tell people that He loves them, because a lot of people don't know that, right? And so we're here to do that, and we're here to show people God's love. So let's try to do that today. All right. God bless you. I'm going to sign off here in just a second, I think. Yes, here we go. I will see you next week. Have a wonderful day, all of you. God bless you, okay? See you soon. Maybe. I still don't quite have this. Oh, come on. There we go. Bye-bye.